Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear Excellency, Kiai Haji Muhammad Hasan Mutawakil Allah SHMM, as the Director of Zainul Hasan Islamic Boarding School, Your Excellency, Dr. Abdul Aziz MAG, as the Rector of Zainul Hasan Islamic University, Honorable Ms. Wahyu Lestari MPD, as the Dean Faculty of Educational Scientific and Teaching, Honorable Mr. Benny Hamdani, as the Chief of English Education Department, Honorable Mr. Ferry Ferdianto MPD, as the Chairman of the Pplk Committee Zainul Hasan Islamic University, and Honorable Mr. Mahfud Sulaiman, as my Supervisor Lecturer of Pplk at SMPN 1 Gending. Before I start the presentation, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Ma'rufatul Ayu Dwinulita. I'm the student of English Education Department of Zainul Hasan University at the 7th semester. Here, I would like to present about my Pplk research article. So, the title of my research article is The Use of Audio Media to Enhancing Student Speaking Skill in the 7th grade at SMPN 1 Gending. Then, for the table of content, first I will explain about the introduction, and then second I will explain about the methodology, and then third I will explain about the finding and discussion of the research article, and then the last is I will tell about the conclusion of my research article. Okay, so the first topic is the introduction. In the present era of education, the use of technology has become a crucial component in enhancing student skill, including in learning English. One widely utilized medium is audio media, which is regarded useful in helping students strengthen their speaking skill. Speaking abilities are a critical facet of learning of language mastering. However, they often provide a particular barrier for junior high school students, especially in non-English speaking nations. Speaking has been defined as the action of being able to communicate oneself to each other in a particular situation, report acts or situation in exact terms, or be able to discuss or express a variety or ideas fluently. Recent studies have indicated that the usage of audio media, such as podcasts, recorded conversation, and audio-based application, can improve students' speaking skill abilities by offering exposure to real and varied language. Students consistently exposed to audio media demonstrate increases in pronunciation, intonation, and the capacity to recognize cultural setting in English. This is because audio media allows students to hear linguistic variants from native speaker, enriching their knowledge of language use in real-life setting. Therefore, the purpose of this study is to investigate how well junior high school students in the 7th grade may enhance their speaking abilities through the use of audio media. It is intended by comprehending the ways in which audio media might improve speaking abilities. The findings of this study will significantly impact the creation or more efficient teaching strategies that suit the demands of the students in the digital age. Then, the next slide is about the methodology. The first is research design. This study used a quasi-experimental approach with a one-group pretest post-test design to find out how well audio media can help students in the 7th grade with their English speaking. The reason behind selecting this design is that it enables the researcher to quantify post-intervention changes without requiring for a control group. The research subject were 7th grade students at SMPN 1 Gending. The writer used a random method to choose one class to be the sample for this study. The selected class were 7A and become the experimental class. The sample class consists of a total 34 students, including 14 female and 20 male. Then the second is the data collection. The preparation of the questionnaire and the creation of audio-based instructional materials indicated the start of the study process. First, a pre-test was administered to the students to evaluate their basic speaking proficiency. Following that, an audio-based intervention was carried out through lessons where students listened to recordings and engaged in speaking exercise based on the content provided. Several sessions were needed to complete this process. Then, students were given a post-test to evaluate how much their speaking ability had improved. After that, students were required to answer questions about how efficiently audio media can improve their speaking abilities on a questionnaire. Then, the third is the data analysis. To determine whether there was a statistically significant increase in the speaking abilities of the student following the intervention, data analysis approaches involve statistical analysis of the pre-test and post-test result using the paired t-test. The data were analyzed using IBM SPSS. Furthermore, descriptive analysis was performed on the questionnaire data to show how students felt about the usage of audio media in the classroom. It is anticipated that the analysis findings would shed light on how well audio content works as a teaching tool to help students improve their speaking abilities. And then the next slide is the finding and discussion. The result of the paired sample test indicate that there is a significant difference between the pre-test and post-test scores because the significance value is less than 0.05. To put it another way, the use of audio media in the intervention greatly enhanced the students' speaking abilities. The significant improvement in post-test scores over pre-test result indicates that students' speaking abilities were enhanced by the usage of audio media. This result is in line with earlier studies that demonstrated how listening to audio materials can greatly improve students' speaking skills by exposing them to proper pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. The hypothesis that frequent exposure to audio media helps students in continually enhancing their skills is further supported by the strong connection observed between the pre- and post-test results. In summary, the statistically analyzed result of this study offer factual proof that using audio media in English language learning, particularly when teaching speaking skills, significantly and positively affects students' abilities. The questionnaire result shows that audio media is an excellent instrument for raising student interest, facilitating comprehension, and enhancing confidence in speaking and pronunciation. But some students still struggle, especially when it comes to comprehending specific kinds of audio content. This indicates that other listening activities or extra help, such vocabulary previews or guided listening, may be necessary. Positive comments are often in line with research on multimedia learning, which highlights the advantages of using audio resources to make language learning more engaging and successful. And then the last is the conclusion of my research article. This study has shown how audio media can improve 7th grade students' speaking abilities at SMPN 1 Gending when used in lesson in English. According to the findings of the student questionnaire and the paired sample t-test, using audio media is greatly enhanced the speaking abilities of the student. As seen by the significantly higher post-test scores compared to the pre-test result, students' speaking proficiency increased as a result of the audio materials. Furthermore, the result of the questionnaire showed that 94.12% students considered audio media to be interesting, which boosted their enthusiasm, helped them pronounce words correctly, and gave them more confidence while speaking English. But several students found it hard to follow some audio materials, particularly when it came to the accent and the speaking rhythms. So maybe that's all for my presentation. I apologize if there is a mistake that I made. And thank you very much for your attention. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.